yours and you're looking ready to set it on fire. Come on and cha-cha-cha with me, and I'ma cha-cha-cha with you tonight. I like it like that, she working that back. I don't know how to act. Ooh.
Hello everyone, good morning. We are from group 1 and we are from class 17.5 A.03. Today we are going to present our final project for English 2. First of all, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Lutfi Viviani Roshida and my student ID number is 17235099.
And my name is Yuldianti and my student ID number is 172351009. We are students from the Faculty of Engineering and Informatics, Universitas Dina Sarana Informatika.
In this podcast, we will critically discuss two important topics. The first one is about the internet and the second one is about artificial intelligence.
We hope you find our discussion interesting and educational. Let's get started with our first topic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. I am Lutfi Viviani Roshida, your host for today's episode. Today we are going to explore a technology that completely drives our modern life. Yes, we are talking about the internet. To discuss this critically, I'm joined by my wonderful classmate Yuldianti. Hi Yuli, how are you?
Hi Vivi, I'm doing great, thank you. I'm very happy to be here on your podcast. This is going to be a very interesting discussion.
I agree. So Yuli, to start our discussion, let's look at the basic definition. As IT student, we know the internet is more than just social media. What is the internet from a technical point of view?
That's right, Vivi. From a technical perspective, the internet is massive global infrastructure. It is basically a network of networks. It connects billions of computers, servers, and smart devices worldwide using hardware like fiber optic cables, satellites, and routers.
Wow, a network of networks. That means everything is connected, right?
Exactly, it allows data to travel from one side of the world to the other in million seconds.
That is incredibly fast. But how does the data actually know where to go? For example, when we open our university website, what happens behind the screen?
That is where protocols come in. When you type a website address, your browser does not understand the word. It needs an IP address. So a system called DNS or domain name system will translate to the website name into a number.
Oh, I see. So DNS act like a digital phone book, translating names into numbers.
Yes, especially once the IP address is found, the data is broken down into small pieces called data packets. The packets are routed through the internet using TCP or IP protocols, and then they are put back together on your screen.
That is amazing. So the image and text we see are actually sent in small bytes first.
Yes, they are. It's an efficient way to preventive network congestion.
Speaking of network congestion, we often hear the terms bandwidth and speed. Are they the same thing, Yuli?
Exactly, they are different with speed. Speed is how fast data travels. Bandwidth is the capacity of the network. Think of bandwidth as a highway. The wider the highway, the more cars or data can pass through at the same time.
Ah, that's a very clear analogy. And with high bandwidth, we can now use cloud computing, right? Like saving our college assessment on Google Drive.
Yes, exactly. Cloud computing completely released on the internet. Instead of saving data on your local hard drive, you save it on remote servers. This allows us to access our files from anywhere, anytime, as long as we have an internet connection.
It is so convenient, but as IT student, we must also look at the critical challenge. I read that the internet is running out of the space. Is that true?
Yes, it is true for IPv4. IPv4 only allows for about 4.3 billion unique addresses. Today, because of smartphone and IoT, Internet of Things device, we need more. That's why we are transitioning to IPv6, which offers trillions of new addresses.
Trillions, that means every single device in the future will have its own unique address. But what about security, Yuri? With more connected devices, is it safer or more dangerous?
It definitely increases the risk, Lutfi. Cyber threats like hacking and data breaches are very common now. That is why encryption like HTTPS and SSL is mandatory for every modern website to protect user privacy.
Wow, we cover a lot of important points today, from DNS, data packet, bandwidth to internet security. Time flies when you have an interesting talk, Yuri. What is your final conclusion for our listeners?
My conclusion is that the internet is an amazing infrastructure, but it requires continuous development as the future IT generation. It is our responsibility to make the internet faster, smarter, and more secure.
What a beautiful way to close our discussion. Thank you so much, Yulianti, for sharing your great insight today.
Thank you for having me, Pipi. It was a pleasure.
And to all our viewers, thank you for watching Tech Talk Podcast. Don't go anywhere because in the next session we will switch roles. Yuldi will be the host and I will be the guest speaker to talk about artificial intelligence. See you in the next video. Bye bye.
Welcome back to the second part of our podcast. I'm Yulianti, your host for this session. As we promised before, we are switching roles now. Today, we are going to discuss a technology that is changing almost every industry, artificial intelligence or AI. Joining me as the expert guest is Lutfi Fiani Rashida. Hi Fifi, welcome to the hot seat.
Thank you, Yuli. It feels different to be the guest this time, but I'm very ready and excited to talk about AI with you.
Awesome, so Fifi, to start critically, everyone is talking about AI nowadays, from ChatGPT to self-driving cars. But academically, what is the true definition of artificial intelligence?
Well, in computer science, AI is basically the simulation of human intelligence in scene. These machines are programmed to think like human and mimic our action, such as learning, listening, and problem solving. It's all about creating smart algorithms.
I see, so it's about making machines smart, but how do they actually learn? They do not go to college like us, right?
Haha, no, they don't. They learn through something called machine learning and deep learning. Machine learning is a method where we feed the computer a massive amount of data. The computer then analyzes the data to find patterns and make decisions without being explicitly programmed.
So data is like their food. The more data they have, the smarter they get.
Exactly, and inside machine learning, this is deep learning. This one uses artificial neural networks which are inspired by the structure of the human brain. It is used for complex tasks like facial recognition, voice assistant, and medical diagnosis.
Whoa! Neural networks sound very advanced. As IT student, we see AI everywhere. What are some examples of AI applications that we use in our daily lives in our studies?
We use it more often than we think really. For example, recommendation algorithm on YouTube, Netflix, or Spotify. They use AI to analyze our past behavior to predict what video or song we want to watch or listen to next.
Alright, good. Why my YouTube homepage always knows what I like? What about in software development?
In software engineering, AI tools can help programs write code faster, debug error, and even automate software testing. It makes the development process much more efficient.
That is very helpful for us. But looking at this critical, many people are worried. They are afraid that AI will replace human jobs and take over the world. What is your academic opinion on this issue?
That is very valid concern, Julie. AI will definitely automate many repetitive jobs and some roles might disappear. However, AI also creates new jobs, especially in IT like AI engineers, data scientists, and prompt engineers.
So it's not about AI replacing human, but human who as AI replacing human, would you not?
Yes, exactly. That's a great way to put it. We also have to consider AI ethics such as data privacy and algorithmic bias. AI is only as good as the data we give it. If the data is biased, the AI will make biased decisions too.
I completely agree. Ethics in IT is very critical. Well, Lutfi, this has been an incredible and deeply academic talk. Before we close, what is your final takeaway about AI?
My final thought is that AI is a powerful assistant, but not a replacement for human creativity and empathy. As IT student at Bina Sarana Informatika University, we must learn to develop AI responsibly to help society.
What a brilliant conclusion. Thank you so much, Pipi, for being an amazing guest speaker today.
Thank you for having me, Yuri. I really enjoy our discussion.
And to our lecturer and all the viewers that watched our final project podcast for English 2, we covered the internet and artificial intelligence. We hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
Bye bye.